Welcome back. We're always thinking about this question. How can you live a bigger, better life, but for way, way less money? Well, today we're going to go on a little global tour, looking at a 2026 forecast to find the world's most affordable countries to call home. But before we dive in, I really want you to think about this for a second. Seriously, what if your day-to-day costs just plummeted? So much so that you could work less, maybe travel more, or even finally get that passion project off the ground. That's the dream, right? And that's exactly what we're exploring. Okay, so before we can find the most affordable places, we all have to be on the same page about what low cost even means. It's not just a feeling. It's all based on some really specific data that lets us compare apples to apples, or I guess Karachi to Kansas City. And the main tool we're using for that is something called the Cost of Living Index. Basically, it bundles up all the essentials. We're talking rent, food, restaurants, even how far your own money goes. And it stacks it all up against a super expensive city, in this case, New York. So, a lower number on this index, that means your money goes so much further. Right, let's start our journey in Asia. This is a continent where you've got these incredible ancient cultures right alongside buzzing modern life. And the best part? It offers some truly jaw-droppingly low costs of living. First stop, and the country that's actually topping this forecast, is Pakistan. It's a place with such a deep, rich history. I mean, we're talking about ancient civilizations and huge empires. And as we're about to see, the value you get for your money there is just wild. Okay, look at this number, 18.2. Just remember, New York City is the baseline at 100. This means the cost of living in Pakistan is forecast to be more than 80% cheaper. That just sets an unbelievable standard for what's possible. From Pakistan, let's head east to what's basically the rooftop of the world, Nepal. For anyone who loves adventure or is on a spiritual journey, the Himalayas are this huge draw. And it turns out you don't need a mountain of cash to actually live there. And this right here, just shows how big the difference is. I mean, look at these numbers. Rent is almost 96% lower than in New York. Just stop for a second and think about that. What would you do with all that extra money every single month? And it's not just rent. Your groceries, eating out, it's all drastically cheaper. All right, let's hop over to our next spot. It's this massive chain of islands with volcanoes, incredible jungles, and some of the best beaches on Earth. We're talking about Indonesia. It's that tropical paradise dream, but guess what? It doesn't come with that paradise price tag. So why Indonesia? Well, for one, places like Bali are just exploding as hubs for digital nomads. Then you mix in the year-round warm weather, this incredibly diverse culture that changes from island to island, and, of course, a super low cost of living, you've basically got the perfect recipe. And just to really hammer this point home, take a look at this. For most of us, our biggest bill every month is rent, right? Well, in Pakistan, the average is just over $100 a month. 100! Nepal, it's about 150. And Egypt, which we're getting to next, is under 200. This is the real game changer. This is how you find financial freedom. Okay, let's switch things up and change continents. Now we're heading to a region where Europe, Africa, and Asia all kind of crash into each other, creating these totally unique cultures and, you guessed it, amazing value. First up here is Egypt. I mean, do I even need to say anything? The pyramids, the Nile, it's legendary stuff. But the part of the story we don't hear as much is just how incredibly affordable it is to live right there, surrounded by all that history, today. So get this, its cost of living index is 19.3. That makes it the second most affordable country on our entire list. It is right on Pakistan's heels, offering you world-class, mind-blowing history for just a tiny, tiny fraction of what you'd pay almost anywhere else. Next up, a country that is literally a bridge between two continents, Turkey. And because of where it is, its culture is this incredible mix of European, Asian, and Middle Eastern influences. There's really no place on Earth quite like it. And the lifestyle you get for the price is just amazing. You've got thousands of years of history from the Romans and Ottomans right there. The food is, hands down, some of the best in the world. And the scenery, from the Mediterranean beaches to the fairy chimneys in Cappadocia, it's stunning. On top of all that, right now, consumer prices are way down, making it all incredibly accessible. All right, for the last leg of our journey, we are crossing the Atlantic and heading to Latin America, a part of the world just bursting with energy, amazing people, incredible culture, and, you know where this is going, it's also remarkably affordable. And here we're going to zoom in on Colombia. Over the last 20 years or so, this country has gone through such a huge positive transformation. It's exciting, it's friendly, and it's quickly becoming a go-to spot for remote workers and retirees who want a really high quality of life. And just to put it into perspective for a lot of you watching, the cost of living in Colombia is over 70% lower than it is in the United States. That's a massive difference, one that could completely rewrite your financial story and open up totally new ways to live your life. So, after that whirlwind tour, let's just take a breath and zoom out for a second to look at the big picture. Because this isn't really just about finding a cheap place to crash. This is about completely rethinking how you look at your money, your work, and your life. And this is the absolute key takeaway. We tend to think that a lower cost of living means you have to give things up, that it's all about sacrifice. But what all of this shows is that it's the exact opposite. It's about opening doors. It's about creating opportunity, the opportunity to live a much fuller life. So, what's the bottom line? Well, first, amazing affordability isn't just in one corner of the globe, it's everywhere. Second, the number one thing driving these savings is that super low rent, which frees up so much of your cash. And most importantly, all these places prove that a better quality of life doesn't have to break the bank. And that leads me to my last question for you, the one I want to leave you with. In this new world of remote work, after seeing all these possibilities, if you could really truly pack your bags and set up shop anywhere on this planet, where would you go? It's fun to think about, isn't it? Thanks for coming along.